Hello, you lovely computer people, and welcome back to another episode of Lost in the Farmer's Market, where today we are looking at this lovely specimen. There is a yowler in the background because apparently when I'm filming, he's determined to be on screen. Whatever. The plant in front of you, its scientific name is Eschscholzia californica. Not to be confused with Californication, which is a Red Hot Chili Peppers hit. The common name for this plant is California Poppy. And yes, it is actually a member of the poppy family, so it's a for really real poppy. Europe can't have all the fun now, can they? It is in the Papaveraceae family, which is the poppy family, making it a true poppy. And the name Eschscholzia, which is a lot to say, is actually derived from the name Johann Friedrich Eschscholz, born in 1793 and died in 1831, named for him by a friend. So it is native to the western United States, so it's a turbo native. Woo! And it is hardy in USDA zones 6 through 10. Its soil pH preference is 6 to 8, which most plants are. And it prefers sandy, dry soils with good drainage. It can also tolerate significant drought, which is really cool. Its exposure is full sun. Its height is 1 to 1.5 feet tall, with a spread of 1 to 1.5 feet. The tallest point on the plant will usually be the flower, and the flower is just worth it. Now, it's got other names, including Bottle Stopper, Desert Trumpet, California Sunlight, and Cup of Gold. Move out of the way, Velveeta. A new gold is in town. I like that Cup of Gold. California Sunlight. It actually sounds like something you get in a drug deal. But anyway, the flowers are generally an electric orange, and boy are they. I mean, it's a shade of orange that will put a cosmos to shame, and they're known for their orange colors. It is also the state flower of California, which is not surprised given the name. I mean, that last scientific name, Californica, is in and of itself, it means of California, so don't surprise. Now, it is drought tolerant, as I mentioned, because it has what I left out about that drought tolerance. The secret to this plant's magical drought tolerance isn't the fern-like silvery greenish gray foliage, which is beautiful unto itself, even if it doesn't flower. A lot of people will mistake this for cilantro, parsley, and a few other things. It's not even related. No, it is actually drought tolerant because it has a long orange-colored taproot that can be that if you're desperate, you might mistake for a carrot. As far as I know, the taproot is not edible, but it is considered a drought-tolerant cool season annual in most zones it is grown. In North Carolina, I mean, it does really well here because our sandy soil in the sandhills is like crack to it. Once you get an established population of this stuff, it's amazing. In fact, I knew a person who had an entire section of their Celtic garden centering on this plant. I mean, and the plant would come back. It was a stable population. It's gorgeous. But anyway, this plant is considered a short-lived perennial, especially in zones 8 through 10. It definitely, by the way, on that taproot thing, does not like being taprooted and be emotional for upwards of several months to a year. Heaven forbid you should actually break the taproot. It's actually not quite as emotional as some of the native perennial lupines are, where you wiggle a shovel at them and they faint and die in shock and you haven't even done nothing yet. It's like, really? This one is similar but more durable. Now, the leaves and stems are actually edible of this plant, and although I don't know what they taste because I grew these from seed as an experiment, I didn't even know what the germination rate would be. It was very successful. Now, this plant does come with a warning. Although the leaves and stems are edible, it is best to it is best to leave the seeds and flowers alone. Don't mess with the taproot because I'm unsure of their edibility. And also, I should point out this plant does contain bitter alkaloids in certain points in this plant, and those alkaloids have an analgesic, calming, or sedative effect. Now, if you're going to use this plant to treat medical situations, I suggest you consult with a medical practitioner or a certified herbalist first, because the last thing we want is for one of y'all out there to try to self-medicate and then self-medicate yourself straight out of the mortal coil. Either way, California poppy is a very pretty poppy relative, and since it's native, far less complicated than your traditional poppies. Don't get me wrong, I have no problem with the poppies that are grown, the red poppies that commemorate World War One, so forth, so on. Just one problem with bred poppies and so forth is that their seed is touchy. If you want to sow it in the garden, you need to sow it in the fall and hope it comes up in the spring, maybe. You can grow it in pots indoors, but they're temperamental. Whereas California poppy is adapted to grow here. There's very little this country can throw that this plant cannot take once it's up. And in grow trays, this had a near 100% germination rate, so I'm very impressed with it. Plus, the foliage reminds me of Artemisia, which, is in a different family, but you get the idea. So, when this plant blooms, you can expect a follow-up short video of me probably going, "Oh my god," or whatever. And that'll probably be a few months down the line because grown from seed, I don't know what the timetable is. These plants move on their own timetable. But when it happens, it'll be posted up here, and that's all I have about California poppies. If you have any thoughts about California poppies, oh, actually, that reminds me, they do come in other colors, but orange is the one you traditionally buy from seed. Just had to put that on there. But if you have any thoughts about California poppies, what you've done with them, how you've grown them, please put them in the comments section. Otherwise, the blog is still updating, and as always, folks, keep them growing. Thanks for watching.